I'm Margaret in Windsor, Queen Victoria II, the day I was born. I'm the real monarch. And this is my dad, Edward VIII. And he was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, American from Madison, Wisconsin, and school teacher, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. My father never married Wallace Simpson. That whole thing was a character assassination. This is one of the doubles that married her, well, that was used in the antics and the crimes that they pinned on my father. Winston Churchill burned the Windsor Files, the marriage of my father to my mom. My mom was Queen of England. And my birth, and my being Victoria II, heir of the British Crown. Now I'm going to go back to this. So they've got my father, and history still tells it, and so many books, and none of the truth has been told. So here's George, in 1939, the year I was born, with Roosevelt that appointed Kennedy as ambassador, and then JFK helped kidnap me and bring me to Moulton, Alabama, and give me the name of a twin. And both twins had been killed by their mother, Lina. They were born out of wedlock, and they put me there in that pigsty hellhole. Now, I'm going to jump to this. Madonna, I think I mentioned this yesterday in the two videos I put up. Madonna, I don't think she had anything to do with producing the movie about George VI, making him out to be the good king, and he's an illegal. He's not even a king. He's a war criminal. I don't know who produced or anything, that one. I think it won the Academy Award, the actor did, for playing him. You'd think he was this great person rather than a fake and a phony that took down his own brother and knew it was lies and helped take him down, helped the Illuminati, and then kidnapped me, his niece, the monarch, and his own brother's daughter, only daughter. So Madonna did a movie about the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, and this is later than that movie, a year later or so, so it hadn't been all that long. Made her out to be this great person, and how wrong that it was her right to be queen. It's so sick, all of it, and you talk about fake news. And I want to get back to who kidnapped me. You got Zuckerman that runs Facebook, and you got Obama, and the two of them got together about a year and a half ago talking about fake news. Fake news is what they did to my father that changed history, and they kidnapped me. They hadn't bothered to tell the truth about any of this, and they talk about fake news. Now I'm going to go back here to yesterday so I can get it up. And I don't know that this has anything to do with what's on TV this morning, but I want to get to it. I put this up yesterday with a letter from Jack Hartsfield, who was a reporter at Huntsville for a time. He saved my life in 1980. He's also undercover FBI. Now, he died, I understand he went back to the Huntsville Times and died last year. And he was an honest man, and he went after the real criminals. I put the letter up, and I scanned just some of it, but it told enough. But I've put some of his letters up over the years that he deliberately gave me. But at the end of the letter to Jack that I put up about Jack, I put this up again. And what it is, it's the name Dempsey they've used. If I can get it up here. Darn, I don't think it's going to be on here. But anyway, his name's Dempsey, Mike Dempsey. And I need to get that back. I can't believe I'm doing this, that I got it up here. Anyway, he's talking about, they're talking about, I should go and get that up. I don't know why I'm going blank on the name right, because it means a lot, this one and this one. But they're using the Dempsey name that was given, when they took my name, they gave me Peggy Dempsey's. It was dead, killed. But anyway, they're over here, and this was in the Fincastle paper, near Troutville, where I lived on the Appalachian Trail and froze and starved. That's where I was when this was done, November the 26th of 97. the point they're making is I'm across 220 up on near Full Heart Knob on the trail, and they're on the other side of Newcastle, and they're freezing and starving, and they're hunting, and they're with the Botetourt County District Attorney. This is Commonwealth here. So now I want to read this, what's going on here. Now, you got me, the real monarch, up here on the mountain starving and freezing, and had every law in the book committed against me and my children and my family and country. Now, here downtown, this is what's going on. It's still the most expensive, I guess. It still is fancy. It's Hotel Roanoke. And they've got limos down there. They've got a woman that is a model who's modeling Diana's dresses. I called her Princess. These are war criminals. She knew about me. They were told not to speak of me if they were asked. So she's engaged in getting money from me, just like the rest. I'm using my money, making me a pauper, and the pain and suffering done here is unbelievable, and to my family. Now, let's see if I can read it, because they're talking about the comparison to what the Brits are going through and what I went through, and I'm up here beside them across 220, Fincastle. They're in Newcastle, I believe. It's a hunt camp. And freezing and drinking out of a tumbler. Now here, if I can read this. Now I put this up, and it's about Diana. It's about the clothes and everything, and it's talking about Mike and Dominic sipped Irish whiskey without ice from dollar store tumblers. And they sit on a yard sale furniture around a blazing wood stove in the cinder block hunting camp of the Humble Harvest Hunt Club in Newcastle. Dave Kirby, okay, there's the name. Royal Oak, well, names, I don't know if they want me to do that. I don't want to hurt anybody because they were over here trying to help. But they're talking about the limos and all this going on with the late Princess Diana's ball gowns at the Hotel Roanoke. Now, yesterday I put that up, and for the first time that I'm aware of, I turned to YouTube to look at my account and YouTube videos, and I had this staring me in the face that Google had cut me off because that I've forgotten the reasons. It was so preposterous. First of all, it wasn't up to Google standards. It wasn't up to this, and I can't remember. And then suddenly it went off. Well, it didn't suddenly go off. The whole thing went off. My phone did. And I tried getting it back up. When I did, my account was back up. And, I put so much up, and I've even put this up before years ago, this about that I've just read you about 3 Brits and Diana's gowns down here at the Hotel Roanoke, and where I was living, the real monarch on freezing and starving. How do you think if all of this that I haven't even told, really, it's so horrible, were told? Okay, now then this morning, I turned TV on, and I had already put up a couple, and I've deleted them because I didn't connect it. You got William, and Diana's his mother, and he's where my son should be. My son Mark and Scott are heirs after me. So they're dressed, and they were walking. William, I don't know if Kate was with him, but it was on NBC this morning. I think all the channels. He's walking into Google headquarters in London. Now, they're going to go in there about cyberbullying. He's all suited and pretending to be the good guy. I have to wonder the connection to my account going down last night to him. You know, my son, Mark, and Scott had everything done to their mom, me. a hell on wheel what they did to me and my sons. And you are going along with Elizabeth, who's your what? She's your grandmother, William, your grandmother. Your father married twice. He's married to a Catholic. And you talk about breaking all the rules you have, and you're not even the monarchs. And I wonder if society is going to let it remain this way, because right now it's me against the Illuminati, the Queen of England, the real one, against the Illuminati, the global government, the UN that came to be when George VI illegal, your I'd have to stop and think, your great-grandfather, helped kidnap me and take down my father. Now, Elizabeth was in the castle, Edinburgh, when they kidnapped me. She knew I was it was 1941, I'm 2 years old. She was about 15 years old. My father, because of the addendum, had been, and me being born, had managed somehow to move back into Buckingham Palace is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get this up because I think it's going off. He managed to get back in, but then there was something about a cup. And I do remember that about the cup, and it was all hell broke loose in there in the room. And it was later that I was kidnapped, and I do remember that. After I found out about my kidnapping, I could remember a lot. So they kidnapped me and brought me over to Moulton, Alabama, took my name. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. Jeff K's son that went down in the plane sometime later, a few years later, I saw him about the second winter I spent up there off of Mountain Pass Road, going up the old trail to the hiker's shelter, just to have a place to freeze and live and starve. I mean, cold and ice you wouldn't believe. Well, that spring he came up, and I thought, well, that's John. He came up, and he had his buddy that was always with him. And I said, you look like John Kennedy. He said, well, I am John Kennedy. And he had a backpack and everything on. It was before the new trail was made there, the next year, I believe. So there's got to be people that know he came in here, other than me. But he said, I came here to see how we made you live. Well, he started snacking on his peanuts, and I don't know what else they pulled out of their backpack. And I told him that his father he already knew that his father had kidnapped me, and I had had no food, and I was starving. So these are your good people that you honor, and you say others aren't fit to sit in Congress and fit to this and fit to that. Yet you had a blackout on what you've done to me and to Great Britain and to the rest of the world. You got a blackout on me. That's enough if you told it. So how can you say anybody's unfit? Congress is unfit. How's that? You've always known what you did to my parents, to England, and to me.